First and foremost, man, I got to ask you, please tell the story of a bus driver explaining to you that WWE is real. What happened there?
Yeah, so we landed yesterday in Omaha, and we had a driver take us over here to Lincoln, and he started talking about the WWE, and he was like, he's like, I've seen Brock Lesnar break a couple arms in there. And I was like, did he do it on purpose? He was, he definitely did it on purpose. He was dead serious, and then he was like smirking after. He was like all excited about like talking about it. And keep in mind, this wasn't like a young kid. This was like a 60-year-old man. And they believed in this. It was hilarious.
What did you do? Was it hard for you to control yourself, knowing that what you're about to do, and he's talking about that?
Yeah, I was trying not to laugh, and then I looked back, and my teammate Sadiq sitting there laughing so hard, but that guy couldn't see him, so I had to hide my laughter. It was hard though. It was pretty funny because he was dead serious.
Nice. All right, well, listen, man, you've been bargaining for a while that you want big fights, man. You want big opportunities. Is this it? Does this qualify? I mean, is this what you had in mind?
I mean, yeah, it's a main event. A main event against a guy who's very exciting and a guy who has a name, so yeah, I'm excited.
You've been very vocal coming in. I mean, obviously you were featured in the press conference, and you guys had a great back and forth there. And I wonder, I mean, do you feel like you're starting to be a little bit more outspoken, express what you want, or is it just that the spotlight's getting a little bigger on you that people are maybe finally seeing it?
Kind of a combination of both. I think that I've been forced to be a little more outspoken because closed mouths don't get fed. When I was 5-0 in the UFC, I was 5-0 and was being a good little soldier, quiet, didn't say a word, and no one cared about me. They didn't say anything, they didn't care. So now it's the time is to start speaking up.
Was there frustration along the way? I mean, did you ever think to yourself, like doubt yourself, or wonder, like, why am I not getting the respect I think I deserve?
I never doubted myself, but there's definitely been frustration. I feel like I've had a harder road than a lot of these guys. I was on the Ultimate Fighter show, so I come out, my contract on the Ultimate Fighter was horrible. So I had a bunch of injuries. I had 2 major surgeries after the Ultimate Fighter show. So then I was working a full-time job half the time I've been in the UFC. When all these other people, some of these guys have never had a job their whole life. They've been training full-time their whole life. So I feel like I've had the hard road, but I also feel like that's why I'm mentally stronger than all these guys.
I was going to say, I mean, certainly you'd like to walk in and make $1 million paycheck in your first fight, right? But I mean, when you have to pay dues like that, is there a benefit of it?
I think you're either mentally stronger or not. There's things that you can do that can help you with that, but at the end of the day, you either got that or you don't. So I think that regardless, it would have been way easier back in the day if I would have had a better opportunity for sure. And would I have my career already been farther along than what it is? Probably.
You're fighting Justin Gaethje. I know you called him the Homer Simpson of MMA, a human punching bag. But the guy's been in some wars, right? I mean, he's been in some absolute battles. So I wonder, preparing for a guy like that, is it different, whether it be mentally or physically, knowing that he does take a lot of shots, but he gives a lot as well?
Yeah, I don't change anything for this camp, just like I don't change anything for any camp. I'm not fighting him, he's fighting me in my mind. That's the way I always train. Now, I'm aware of what he does, and I would be stupid to not address his leg kicks and his style of fighting and his pace that he's going to come. But I've never had a problem in any fight with cardio. No one's ever gassed me out in any fight. I've never had a problem where I wasn't the one, that had better cardio than them. And I think he thinks that's where he's messing up. He thinks that I'm not mentally prepared. I'm not going to go in there and try to go to war with him, but I understand that that's probably going to be unavoidable. And see, he thinks that I don't think that I can avoid that. He thinks I believe that I can avoid that. I know I probably can't avoid that. So either 2 things are going to happen. Either he's going to get knocked out real quick and get caught with something clean, or we're going to go to war. But in my mind, I'm way mentally stronger than he is. I just don't have to fight like that. So you're going to see come 4th, 5th round, if I'm losing on them cards, you're going to see who bites on this mouthpiece and who's the dog and who's not.
I wonder, as a fighter, I mean, the battles that he's been through, fans are like, this is amazing, this is great. But as a fighter, do you respect it because you see heart and you see that he does, battle, or do you see like sloppy or technique or silly strategy? A
combination of both also. I think he fights like that because he has no choice but to fight like that. He has no choice but to fight like that. But at the same time, I mean, it's not a smart strategy. I plan on fighting till I'm 40 years old. I love it. I love being a fighter. I love this shit. He probably gonna have to retire in the next year or 2. Definitely 2 years. Probably he's gonna be done. Which is not a good look. There's
so much conversation, when everybody's breaking down this fight about will he change styles? Will he use his wrestling more, that sort of thing? But you said, he fights that way because he has to. So do you feel like it's impossible for him at this point to fight differently than he has been?
I do think it is, but I don't really see, like, trying to wrestle me, what would his end game be? I don't see what it would be. If he took me down, I'd get up in 15, 20 seconds. I'm up to my feet. No one's been able to do anything to me once I get my back to the cage. I get up every time. He might get submitted, or he can't even pass my guard anyway. But by the time I get up, like, the really only thing him going for takedowns would do against me is probably gas him out, which is what he's publicly said, that he don't wrestle because it drains your gas tank.
Yeah, a win here would be big. As you said, it's the spotlight's on you. It's the main event. But do you think about where it puts you in the division? Because it's it's kind of top heavy right now. You got some fights that need to be worked out and that need to be handled. Do you think about where it puts you in the division?
Yeah, I always think about the future. I'm always thinking about the future and ahead of time. And I got a plan to call a couple people out, and it's a must win for sure. It's a must win for me. And this division's going to be tied up. There's no point in all these guys that think they're getting title shots next. They're probably not. The winner of, let's be realistic, the winner of Khabib and Conor probably is not fighting for another year after that. So is all these guys, Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee, Nate Diaz, Poirier, all these guys just going to set out, or what are they going to do if they think they're in line for a title? So I think that I'm going to call some people out and hopefully one of them take the bait.
I was going to say, so you're thinking a few moves ahead. You kind of got it lined up.
Everything's premeditated always.
Very nice. What's most important for you then? Is it to go out here? I mean, again, the guy's been in fight of the years. The people that talk about it. Is it important for you to go in there and survive something like that and gain fans maybe that way, or do you feel like it's better off if you go in there and make a statement and do something quick?
No, it's always better. Like, why would I go in there and want to be in a war and take beatings in my head? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm aware that could happen, and if it does happen, I'm ready to embrace that, and I've been mentally prepared for that. But no, the best thing would be to go in there and get a quick knockout and be healthy and be able to train again, next week, and be back in the gym and things go good. So, you can get a lot of fans by being in wars. You can also get a lot of fans by knocking people out.
No
or
doubt.
Submitting and finishing them.
I was going to say, it sounds like you feel like you got a lot of options. So, I mean, as you play this thing out in your head, what's the one you see most often? How do you think this gets done?
I see a knockout. I for sure see a finish. Or, maybe I catch his neck and submit him as well. But the way he fights and the way I fight, he's not going to accept being on the outside and losing a point battle. He's not going to stay on the outside. He'd rather get knocked out. So he will come in and he's going to get caught with something. He's going to run into something trying to close that distance, and it's going to be rough on him.
And I see you're waiting for the odds to come down a little bit. You're not making your play on yourself just yet?
No, I'm waiting to the last minute because I'm waiting. I saw the odds. I was the favorite. So I was like, last time I checked, I was like a minus 160. So I'm trying to get it down lower.
You think the late money's coming in on him?
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about all my people that are actual bettors, or late money's going to come in on me. But we're going to see what happens.